There is not going to be a single new thing that is going to move meaningfully anywhere with Lucasfilm until Bob Iger has left the building, and probably several others as well. And it's going to be a whole new regime to come in that's going to, I'm assuming, going to try to hit, whether for good or ill, the reset button on this puppy and try to figure out what to do, because they can't just keep throwing money away at this thing. It's a rudderless ship, and all they're trying to do right now is put a new leather sofa in the wheelhouse. Renegade Online. Yeah, we all knew this was coming, and it's the only reason I bring this up. When we had Star Wars Celebration in, was it Japan? A few months ago? April, was it? And we knew that this movie has just been getting tossed around like a rag doll, right? This is the next Ilio. This thing has been tried to get written 4 and 5 times by 4 and 5 different writers. Nobody's gotten anything going. Daisy Ridley's walked out on stage April of 23. Rey's coming back. Yay, we got a Rey movie. We knew that's what Bob Iger wanted Disney Star Wars to get back into the theaters. Kathy, I'm sure, was happy to get Rey back on screen, even though the audience wasn't. And then it just languished. And then Japan this year, Star Wars Celebration 2025, there was no mention of this movie, to my recollection. Daisy Ridley was not walked back out on stage again to give an update or to even talk about this. I told you at that moment, this movie looks like it's effectively dead. And one of the reasons I said, and this looks like this is kind of confirming it, at least my theory on this, was we are now to the point where the proximity to Bob Iger retiring from Disney, you know, his replacement is going to be announced within the next 12 months. And there's probably going to be a lot of people, studio heads, C-suite people, that, and this is not uncommon, that are going to be retiring right along with him. We saw it when Iger retired the first time, right? Alan Horn stepped down. He's like, okay, Bob's leaving, I'm leaving too. That's how we wound up with Alan Bergman, who took his place, and then Dana Walden. God help us. But that's kind of what happened here. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think at this point, all this stuff that they don't already have well down the road into production, they don't have a script, they don't have anything greenlit yet that's ready to go, they probably just slammed the hammer down on it. We're going to have a big regime change here in the next 12 months. And some of the transitioning process is going to happen before then. I know it's Pride Month. I think this was going nowhere. We're not going to try to bake this cake anymore. Let's stop. Let's just put a hold on everything. And remember, at Star Wars Celebration, they didn't announce any new major projects. They didn't announce any new major shows that we weren't already expecting or didn't already know about. You know, Ahsoka Season 2 is about it. Everything else is another Dave Filoni animated thing or whatever. Very, very little to nothing in the way of any live action for Star Wars. The Mando and Grogu movie, obviously that was already well along into production. That's going to be coming out summer of next year. Whoopee. I think honestly, this also seems to suggest at some level that the Walt Disney Company they're nervous. I think they're nervous about what Mando and Grogu's commercial performance is going to be next summer. I would be. For all the reasons we've extolled previously, this movie, this Mando and Grogu movie, is about, by the time it comes out, is about 5 years too late. They should have had this movie come out in 21 or at the latest 22, right after the Luke Skywalker came back in the late 2020 thing. They didn't. All they've done is pump out a lot of trash that lost whatever was left of the audience. The people that wanted to give Mando a chance have left the building, by and large. The merch doesn't sell like it did 2 or 3 years ago anymore. It's cooled off significantly, and now they've probably got $300 million invested in this Mando and Grogu movie that they don't even know now. They may be looking at this thinking that it could turn into, you know, it may do no better than Captain Falcon DEI. It might not do any better than Fantastic Four, and that's if Fantastic Four does maybe 500 to 600 million if it's really lucky. And
we scooped this thing, right? So we knew this before anybody else, and this was a big to-do. we came out and you ate popcorn. You ate popcorn in the background as the Echo Based Networks guys heard us relay to them the Rey movie and that she was going to walk out on stage. All that. We had it like a week early.
Yep.
So let me tell you what I think's going on here. The scoopers out there, the alleged scoopers who have, they get it right half the time or they get it right 60% of the time or whatever. Someone has got a sniff on this, and I forget who it is. I think
it was Daniel Rickman. I think it's Daniel
Rickman. You're right.
Daniel RPK. Yeah. Daniel Rickman. And look, I pulled this up just so you know. The reason I just searched for, I was like, let me go see if I can find an article real quick. And the first one that came up was from Men's Journal. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, that's okay. And that's just like a random, just a regular, like a men's magazine. It's not a Star Wars publication. It's not a Hollywood Entertainment. I'm like, even just the normie publications out there have picked up on this. And everybody's starting to realize basically what a mess this is. And that's why I was like, I want to use this article because it's in Men's Journal. It's just, it's the same thing if they had taken this and written it in GQ. Which is mostly, I think, for gay guys now, but it's like like this is where this story is being reported now. They're picking this up and they're running it in normie places.
Well, let me tell you what I think Rickman's up to, and what the rumor's based on. Okay, because I think I know what this is. First of all, I don't know how you delay a movie that was supposed to release in 2025, and I've got the evidence for that. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I get the link for that.
Oh, we know it was. I mean, they announced it. They said Christmas of 25.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in the private for you. Okay, you've got it now. 2025 was when this thing was supposed to release. The script's not done. They have never had a completed script for it.
No, even when they got Stephen Knight.
Right. So you've got Rickman now, and it's a new guy who's doing the script. Okay, if they don't have a script. And Kathleen Kennedy is getting ready to leave. And we know now that she's going to leave either
she's
later
gonna leave,
this year.
She's leaving with Iger. She's going to do an Alan Horn. They're both in their 70s. I mean, she's already indicated she's retiring. Oh, I'll never stop making movies. Yeah, but you won't be at Lucasfilm anymore. But
so here's the scoop, okay? If you're wanting to get a scoop out there and you're wanting to build your cred, and maybe Rickman's got it from an inside source, I don't know. But if you're wanting to do that, if the script's not done and Kathy's leaving, Confucius says that the next person who takes over Lucasfilm has got to be the one who decides if the script goes through and all of that, right? We've run out of time. The clock is out.
Right.
Kathy is not, at the 11th hour and 59 minutes going to approve a Rey movie. No. She's not going to do that. That's been taken from her now, right?
Right.
Okay. So I think
she'll still get executive producer credits on it though if it ever comes out.
But here's the thing: how do you delay that which has no date?
That's it,
and has never had a date, and doesn't even have a script. How do you delay that? So I know.
I think specifically the language was, and this is what you sent me, but yeah, this is from one of the Star Wars Twitter pages. But yeah, back April 12th, 2023. There it is. Lucasfilm's currently hoping to release the Rey movie in 25.
Wasn't it on the calendar too?
It was slated for a Star Wars Christmas frame release, just like the last 5 that Disney did, right? Nope. We were like, nope. Writer 1, Writer 2, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. I enjoy making men uncomfortable. I like to make men uncomfortable. Yeah, that's just directing
a very good
Star Wars
impression. Very good Chinoy impression. The movie, though, okay, so the Rey movie that was slated for this year at Christmas, that then, because they couldn't make it, they had to take Mandalorian Season 4 and transform that into a movie, and then that couldn't make that deadline, so they had to delay it 6 months. So that's the kind of mess we've had at Star Wars. Folks out there, if you think you're getting something good for the Mandalorian movie, you're getting Season 4. You're getting the final 2 episodes of Season 4.
Well, that's what everybody's been saying, is that it's just a glorified 4th season of Mando that they slammed on the screen because Iger needed something to be back theatrically, because there was a lot of shareholder clamoring behind the scenes that, hey, Star Wars is now just a TV show. I mean, it had a big impact on merchandise sales, had a big impact on everything for it. It looked like a cheapened brand. Well, now it's a broken brand. But just for argument's sake here, according to insider Daniel Rickman on his Patreon, the upcoming film about the Star Wars heroine announced in April of 23 is being shelved. The good news is Richmond says the movie is not canceled, but rather temporarily on hold. So it's not even right. It's not even a delay of we're going to push back the release date. They haven't done anything with it. I mean, it's gone nowhere because nobody can get a script basically that makes Kathy happy, and we know that's always the case. This has happened over and 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 over again since she's taken over Star Wars.
Well, is it Kathy though Valiant, or is it Alan? Because
it's probably both.
How many scripts Kathy takes to Alan, and Alan says nope.
Yeah, there's also why do you think Stephen Knight left this? You think Stephen Knight probably really would have enjoyed, oh man, I get to work on a Star Wars movie, that'd be cool. And then he probably tried to make things, and he probably tried to do something it's Stephen Knight. It was probably going to be really good. Kathleen Kennedy probably said, no, we need more girl power. We need more of this, all the usual stuff. And Stephen Knight just said, dude, I got my Peaky Blinders movie to work on. I've been trying to help you with this for a year now. We've gone nowhere. I can't take it anymore, and I'm not playing the stupid game.
Put another gay diverse woman in it. Make it more fucking lit.
We just can't take it anymore.
Kathy told Stephen, we really haven't done this enough at Disney. What about if Rey is the aunt to an abandoned child who's lost both parents and is weird and strange and possibly on the spectrum, but an alien comes in and saves the day? We haven't done that, Stephen. Let's do that.
Well, I love this line. The reason behind the delay, according to Daniel RPK, is so that Lucasfilm can prioritize other movies, including Starfighter and James Mangold's not yet named film. Well, you're two movies that have literally gone nowhere at all, and a Rey movie that they brought her out on stage 2.5 years ago now and announced that it was happening, and in 2.5 years have gotten zero things accomplished. I'm not trying to pick on Daniel RPK, but whoever's giving him this information obviously that's just a bunch of bullshit.
James Mangold.
They're not prioritizing anything for these. They're shutting it all down for right now. There is not going to be a single new thing that is going to move meaningfully anywhere with Lucasfilm until Bob Iger has left the building, and probably several others as well. And it's going to be a whole new regime to come in that's going to, I'm assuming, going to try to hit, whether for good or ill, the reset button on this puppy and try to figure out what to do, because they can't just keep throwing money away at this thing. It's a rudderless ship, and all they're trying to do right now is put a new leather sofa in the wheelhouse. You still can't even drive the fucking boat, and you're trying to add luxury out. It's like, this is stupid. This is why it has to stop. Pardon my French, but it's hilarious to see the excuse making.
You clearly,
anyway,
you're missing the logic. You're missing the logic. You and your profanities, you have completely missed that James Mangold deserves another chance after having a historic flop with Indy. He needs that Star Wars moment. It's his redemption arc at Lucasfilm.
Exactly. Let's lose another $300 million from man. Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.